Let's go ahead and compare Salah and Yamal then. Here are the GA stats. Everyone knows Salah this season, production out of this world. This is his best Premier League statistical season. 57 GA and 49 90s. So it's obvious that Mohamed Salah is better in terms of GA. However, I do think it is important. 11 penalties. We do need to take that into account. Lamine Yamal does not take penalties. If we were to actually make this fair, this would be 23, 23, 21, 22. But I get it's nitpicking. Salah would have a better GA per 90 anyway. So let's just say whatever. GA goes to Salah. Now let's look at actual underlying shooting statistics. Despite how many goals Mohamed Salah has actually scored this season, he's performing very similarly on XG compared to Yamal, which means they are scoring around the same amount of goals that they should be scoring compared to where they're shooting and the shots they're taking. And when we look at the distance out, we can pretty easily see why. That's a 5-yard distance. Lamine Yamal obviously takes more shots, gets more shots on target per 90, and the reasons why they're taking these shots will become a lot more obvious when we go and look at the context. So make sure you keep that in mind for later. So the shooting is close, but still, because Salah is going over expected goals and he has so many more goals in the season, we'll give it to Salah. Let's go ahead and look at passing. So this is per 90. Lamine Yamal is up in actual passes, completion percentage, total distance, progressive distance, everything basically. He passes a lot more because he's more involved in the game overall. I mean, you can see it everywhere, more completed passes. I think it's fair to say that passing goes to Lamine Yamal for this. This guy, just all over when it comes to passing, he is more involved in the game than Mohamed Salah. We'll see that even more in a sec. This isn't going to be important to some of you, but I mean, this does contribute to what people see. They play the same position, so this is a fair comparison. We're looking at their defensive actions. Lamine Yamal is a lot younger. Makes sense that he would have more defensive actions because he is livelier, he's getting back, he has more stamina just across the board. This makes sense. More defensive actions just in general per 90. Defensive actions, that goes to Lamine Yamal. When it comes to touches, this shows you Lamine Yamal has more touches everywhere on the pitch besides the attacking penalty area. Lamine Yamal plays all throughout the pitch. He brings the ball up. He creates for everyone else. Mohamed Salah is mostly concerned with being in the box and the attacking third. He pretty much only stays there. We'll see that again in context when we look at their actual heat maps and stuff. It'll become very obvious why Salah has the GA that he actually does have. I think it's fair to say that Lamine Yamal is more involved in possession just overall, so we can give this to Lamine Yamal. Take-ons and carries, it's not close here. Obviously, Salah is a lot older, but Jesus. These statistics, they speak for themselves. When it comes to dribbling, take-ons, carries, Lamine Yamal absolutely clears. There's no comparison. Now, when we look at goals and shot creating actions, goal creating actions, Lamine, much higher than Salah's. Shot creating actions, same thing. It's fair to say, goal and shot creating actions, Lamine is better. It's not close. Here are some miscellaneous stats. I mean, it does not really matter. It's the amount of times they were fouled, more than twice as much. Crosses per game, Lamine, 1 more. Interceptions, more. Tackles, 1. Penalty kicks, 1. Recoveries, aerial duels. Basically, every single statistic here Lamine Yamal is better in. People aren't going to care about these. That's fine. It's just more statistics that Lamine Yamal is better in. Let's look at their actual team success and team success XG when they're on the pitch and when they're off the pitch. Barcelona get 0.7 more points a game when Lamine Yamal is on the pitch versus when he's off. Liverpool only get 0.32 more points when Salah is on the pitch. When we look at team success XG, so these are the chances that they're creating per 90 with them on and off the pitch. Still similar, but Lamine Yamal is still higher. I think it's fair to say Lamine Yamal wins in this statistic as well. This is just another statistic that says that Lamine Yamal is more impactful for his team and just in general. I think context is very important. These statistics make a lot more sense when you actually look at them with their heat maps. I'm not sure if you guys can tell which one is which. One player gets a lot more touches here, and one player is in the box a lot more, and that's Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah's higher GA makes sense when you consider where on the pitch he really functions. He's not in his own half an awful lot. Look at how red this area is here. When you watch Barcelona games, you'll see Lamine Yamal in this area whenever Barcelona are playing out, and then he'll end up shifting down here whenever Barcelona's line gets higher than around here. Lamine Yamal is mostly a possession-focused player. He likes to drop in, get the ball here, and create. That's the difference between Mohamed Salah and Lamine Yamal. Salah is getting a lot more one-touch, very short interactions. Lamine Yamal, he takes his time with the ball. That's what the difference is here. I've got even more context for you. Let's go over Salah's season. 20 goal or assistless games in 52 matches, 32 games with a goal and an assist, which is 61% of his games with a goal or an assist, which is very good. So in only 32 matches, he's gotten all 57 of his goals and assists. So he's getting 2 to 3 goal contributions in the matches he's actually contributing in. Some people think match ratings are complete bullshit, but obviously they have some saying. They can at least tell you when a player dropped an absolute stinker. 13 games this season, Salah has played below a 7.0. 25% of his season. 25% of his season, he has played below average. When we looked at the actual stats, this is what Salah had better. He had better GA, and slightly better shooting over XG. Yamal had 25 goal or assistless games out of 62. That's 37 games with a goal or an assist. That means that he impacted 59.6% of his matches with a goal or an assist. During this season, Lamine only had 3 matches under a 7.0. That's 10 less than Mohamed Salah. This season, Lamine Yamal only had 5% of his games fall below a 7.0. When we looked at statistics, Lamine Yamal was better in goal creation, shot creation, passing, possession, take-ons, carries, miscellaneous stats, and better on-off team statistics. Overall, what did Salah truly do better than Lamine Yamal this season? I believe that comment was originally for a Ballon d'Or comparison. I'm not completely sure, so I went for the statistics first, but I'm pretty sure that comment was for a Ballon d'Or comparison. If we want to actually look at what they did for the Ballon d'Or, we already looked at the statistics, let's look at everything else. Mohamed Salah this season only was able to win the Premier League. Now, I think it's also important that we talk about how that happened. The first half of the season, the majority of people had Mohamed Salah as the top Ballon d'Or contender. The issue is, the second half of the year, he almost completely fell off a cliff. And the context behind how he lost out on the Champions League and the Cups are very important. I want you to keep in mind his average rating for this season when I show you what his last matches looked like. These were the last matches of the Premier League season. At this point, they'd pretty much won it, so some people are going to say this doesn't matter, but still, let's keep going back. So, as you can see, this run of form was not just a couple games at the end of the season. This has been happening, and this bad run of form truly started in the Champions League against PSG. Over the 2 legs against PSG and then the Newcastle game right here, he basically completely ruined his chances at winning a Ballon d'Or. By having such bad performances in the most important games of his season, and then also going on to finish the rest of the Premier League season so poorly, it's very hard to actually consider him a Ballon d'Or candidate. Especially when you take the end of Lamine Yamal's season and put it right side by side. 8.9 against Real Madrid, 8.8 against Inter, 9.1, 8.5. Again against Inter, again against Real Madrid. More games. Against Dortmund, Atletico. So this is how Lamine ended his season. To end the season, Lamine Yamal stepped up his game, was playing above the average for the rest of his season. And that's why Lamine has a treble this season. Even if it is a domestic treble, it's because he stepped up in the biggest games of the season. That's why he has a treble and his team got a treble. He is the reason. After all that, I think it's very clear who actually deserves the Ballon d'Or between Yamal and Salah if it was just them two. I've done other comparisons with Rafinha and Dembele. If you want to look at them, they're on my page. Yamal deserves it more than Salah this season. I'm sorry, that's just the truth of the matter.